At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where it is James and Jen and Dylan go to the fair day.
It is. We are not at the fair, but we will be soon enough.
That's right. We have on our Wellston colors today.
Yeah.
In honor of the fair.
Golden Rockets, baby.
Yeah. Are you holding your cigarette pack in that shirt?
No. No comment. No.
It's got his cigs rolled up.
I thought you were making a dig about people from Wellston.
What?
I don't know.
No.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Honestly, I didn't know today was Wednesday. I thought today was Tuesday.
Dylan, go back to sleep, sweetie.
Yeah. Stop getting up so early.
Yeah,
but yeah, today is
sure.
Wednesday, July 19th, and the
It
Jackson
is.
County Fair is in full swing.
It totally is, and the junior fair is in full swing. I was telling you that I've really been enjoying seeing some of the great pictures from the junior fair classes, and I think yesterday they had the turkeys and the ducks and the chickens and all that stuff, and just very nice to see the kids and how excited they are about being there, and it's like a lot of emotions that were captured, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah. So we do have a guest today, but I thought real quick we would run through the fair schedule, what's happening today.
Okay.
So I'll get it started, and then you can kind of finish it up. So right now, the open class dairy cattle show is going on, and that is followed by the junior fair dairy cattle showmanship and show.
I think that we should make you. Oh no, we'll make the intern. We should make
Show,
the intern milk a cow.
I want no part
Isn't
of that.
What a dairy cow is?
Yes.
Dylan,
do you want to learn to milk a cow?
Not really.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Okay.
And then at 10 is the Senior King and Queen contest in the 4-H building, presented by Mobility Manager of Jackson and Vinton counties.
that's right, because it's Senior Citizen Day
It
today.
is. Senior citizens get in free today, sponsored by Holzer.
Well, thank God we don't have to pay for me to get in now.
I know, right? Then also at 10 a.m. is the Junior Fair Beef Breeding Showmanship, followed by the Dairy Beef Feeders, Dairy and Market Steers. And that's everything. Yeah. Then that's everything in the morning, and that's going to take us up to 2 o'clock, which is the Junior Fair Beef Breeding Show. 2:45 is the Junior Fair Dairy Beef Feeder Show. At 4:30 is the Junior Fair Beef Feeder Show. Whew. And then rewinding a little bit, starting at 2 o'clock, the rides open.
Okay.
Yeah, so the rides will be open from 2 to 10 today.
Nice.
And then in the later afternoon at 6 p.m. is the Junior Dairy Steer Show. At 6:30 is the Junior Fair Horse Showmanship and Horsemanship. That's your event, right? Yeah. Then at 7 is the Junior Fair Market Steer Show, and at 7:30 is Comedy Night with Joe Deuce on the Midway stage, hosted by local comedy legend Lori Graves.
Lori Graves.
Yeah.
That's not Joe Dirt. That's Joe Deuce.
Did I say Joe Dirt?
No.
Oh.
I was just making a joke. Who is Joe Deuce?
I don't know. He is the comedian that will be performing at the Midway stage at the Jackson County Fair tonight 7:30 p.m.
That's right. And it is a big day because when you start talking about this the steer project, so it's there's so many
Oh my
different
gosh, yes.
projects, and it's a long night, and then you get into the horse show and they're all going on at the same time. There's a lot
Mhm.
going on.
Yeah.
So
Busy day at the Jackson County Fair.
it is. And comedy, so you can kind of get some comic relief.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I just looked this up, and Joe Deuce is a nationally touring comedian and has appeared on Fox, Hulu, and Amazon Prime.
Wow.
There you go. And
Wow.
he will be making his presence known at the Jackson County Fair tonight.
Absolutely. So we are going to head out there later this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will have some coverage of the Jackson County Fair for you later this week. So that's very exciting. If you are out there today, look for us.
Yeah.
Jen
Say hey.
and me will both be wearing our vests.
No, we will not.
We'll see. We'll see
Uh-huh.
if Jen's wearing her vest. Hashtag living our best life.
Our vest life.
Yeah.
That was real punny last night when
I
you
know.
sent that to me.
I know. I was proud of that. I had I worked on that. I was like, all right, what is the best vest pun I can come up with? I had like 3 or 4, and that was the one I chose to go with. You got to workshop these things, Jen.
Uh-huh.
Comedy gold doesn't just write itself.
That's true.
You
That's
gotta
true.
work these things. You think Joe Deuce just does the first thing that comes to his head? No, he works for it.
Joe Deuce works hard
He
for
works
it.
hard for
I'm
it.
sure.
All right.
I bet he doesn't wear a vest.
I don't know. He is a comedian. Vests are kind of funny. He might.
Listen, it is 7,000 degrees. I am not putting another additional layer of clothing on.
All right. I can't argue with that. But either way, come find us at the Jackson County Fair later this morning.
That's right. We'll be up there and trying to talk to some kids. Maybe show you a little bit of the Midway and some food and all that stuff.
Yep.
Because we all like food.
Yes, we do all like food.
Yes.
All right. Well, we have a guest this morning. So
Yes,
I am
we
going to
do.
give up my seat and
Okay.
invite her over here.
Okay. Well, come on over. We're excited about this. We're going to find out about how you can better yourself a little bit, right?
That's right.
Very good. So welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And if you would pull that mic right up to your face, not to your face, but to your
Better?
face, I guess. Yes, much
Okay.
better. Yeah, it tends to not pick up sometimes. So welcome. We're so happy to have you here. Could you
Thanks.
introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Amy Barr, and I am the leader of the local TOPS chapter here in Jackson.
So I can remember talking with, I believe Jack Riley was a member of TOPS years ago, and if I remember correctly, he worked very hard and lost some weight.
Right.
And it's kind of a group, like kind of a, no, I don't know, it's a support group or
Right,
the
it's
right
a-
way to say it?
Yes, it is
Okay.
a weight loss support group. Yes.
Okay, very good. So it is so nice to have you here today. And I guess kind of, if you could just kind of explain what TOPS stands for, what it is.
Sure. TOPS stands for Take Off Pounds Sensibly, and it is a weight loss support group. We don't follow a certain diet. They give you information on the food exchange system, but you don't have to follow that because we all know what works for one person doesn't always work for someone else.
Okay.
So
Sure.
you have your choice of what you want to follow. And they just give you tools to help you along your weight loss journey.
Okay.
So there's lots of tools. I mean, there's things on the website that you can access. There's recipes there. They have a TOPS News magazine that comes out bi-monthly. They do blogs and webinars. They have those that come out. So there's lots of tools out there that you can use and stuff. There's a little My Day One little magazine that all new members get that kind of gives you tools and tricks to help you get you started
Yeah.
and things like that.
Because the journey, I think number one in the journey is just getting started.
Right.
It's like, I can do this tomorrow. Or I'm going to start next Monday.
Yes.
We've all
next
done
Monday.
that, right?
Yep. Yeah, so you go to start on Monday, and maybe that Monday doesn't go very well. So you're like, okay, I'll start next Monday.
Correct.
So there's never going to be a perfect day to start. So you just got to kind of like jump in and do the best you can to get started and stuff. And I mean, it's not an easy road to go. You know what I mean? And
No,
like
it is not.
nobody's weight loss journey is like linear. I wish we could all just continually go straight downhill with our weight loss, but it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And when you said that every person is different, that can be discouraging
Mm-hmm.
because you're like, okay, and I don't know, do you guys encourage kind of the buddy system or whatever, where it's like, you have somebody that you're kind of working together with as a support mechanism, and that person's all of a sudden losing weight and you're not, and oh man, that can be frustrating.
You rely on your fellow members a lot.
Okay.
And that's what they're there for. They're to give you support and stuff if you're having a bad day, or encourage you when you're doing well. And we have contests and things like that. So, I mean, a lot of it is, motivating each other and stuff, but it also comes down to that discipline and self-control. Some people are like, oh, I just can't get motivated. But is it truly that you can't get motivated, or is it that you've lost your self-control and your discipline to make those smart choices and stuff? So it's a little bit of both, I think. So,
Okay.
because I mean, maybe you have motivation and you want to do it, but then you just don't have that self-control to stay away from certain things. And I know in my house, there are certain things that I would prefer not be in my house.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Like, just if it ain't there, I can't eat it. Or
That's right.
Yeah, I get
That's
you.
right. That's right. And you just learn tips and tricks along the way.
Sure.
I mean, like if you are a chocoholic or something and you don't want to keep chocolate in your house, and you've been having a craving for like, a week or two, and it just doesn't go away. So maybe you decide you want to go get some chocolate. You go out and get something,
Okay.
a small amount, and then bring it back to your house and, and stuff. So you just have a small portion there, and, it's not, the extra's not left in your house.
Yeah, you're not buying the, Halloween size bag of Hershey
right.
bars, right?
That's right. You don't want that and stuff. Just like when Girl Scout cookie season comes along, I tell my husband, if you buy some, you need to take them to work, because I don't want those in my house.
Yes.
My son might like to have those in my house, but
Yeah.
I don't want them in my house.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Like if the temptation isn't there, then you can't partake in it, right?
Right.
So, all right, well, let's talk about, do you guys have meetings, or how does that work?
Each TOPS chapter meets once a week. So
Okay.
my chapter meets Tuesday nights at the Senior Center over on Mound Street.
Okay.
And we start at 5:00. That's our weigh-in time. And then we start our meeting at 5:30.
Okay.
And we're out of there by 6:30.
And what would a meeting consist of?
A meeting consists of, we usually have like our TOPS pledge. We start with that. And then we have a roll call, which is you go through everyone's name and they say how they did. I mean, you don't have to say like what you lost or what you gained. You can just say you lost or you gained. You don't have to say how much. And you don't even have to say if you don't want to.
Okay.
And stuff, because the
It's
whole,
not like body shaming, right?
No,
or
no.
like shaming.
There is
yeah.
no body shaming. There's no fat shaming and stuff. I mean, if you come in there with a gain, you don't have to say that during roll call. You don't have to say I gained. You can just say, pass. Even if you lost, you can say pass. And stuff. Some people don't even like to weigh in every week because that's not their focus. Their focus is not the number on the scale.
Yeah.
Maybe their focus on their health journey is maybe how their clothes fit
Sure.
and stuff, or just being more active and going that way. So not everybody has the same goals on their health journey.
Yeah, because we all know that, say for example, you start doing some weight training or something, you're going to actually probably gain some weight.
Yeah.
You're going to lose weight eventually, but you probably gain some weight. So, getting on those scales could get a little frustrating for somebody
Right.
that while your clothes are fitting better, you're still, a few pounds more than you once were.
Exactly.
And so, I understand why people would not want to focus on that and whatever.
But after you have the weigh-in, then there's sometimes you have like a little bit of a business meeting because we are a group, an organization and stuff. So, and some chapters handle that differently. It just kind of depends on how big a chapter is and stuff. And then after that, there's a program. of some type, and we get our programs off the website, so we know that they are medically sound. They're written by a professional, so we know we're giving out
Okay.
correct information and stuff. And then, anybody in the chapter can do a program. You just go to the website and find some information.
Okay, very
So-
good. So if you're a member or you can check all that stuff out. That's so
Right.
cool.
Yep.
Okay, and so that's once a week. And so what would be some of the things that you all would maybe like focus on in a program?
Sometimes we have a program that focuses on exercise.
Okay.
So somebody will come in our chapter, and we had one program that dealt with the hula hoops. There was an article in our Tops News magazine.
I
that had
love hula hoops.
So, well, none of us were very good at it. So,
Yeah, it's
but it was
very
a lot of fun
humbling.
trying. Yes, but we had fun trying and stuff. So the person who presented that program, and she went out and bought us a couple hula hoops. We were all passing them around and sharing them. And then our assignment for that week was to take that hula hoop home and try to get a little bit better. So needless to say, I did not get any better, but it was fun trying.
I feel like hula hoops are one of those things that it's like riding a bike. Once you figure it out, you're like, oh, okay.
I still need more practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it might be like that. Sometimes it's
That's
some
fun.
nutritional information, and maybe it's just a discussion topic, like what are your trigger foods, or how do you guys get past the nighttime snacking, and just opening that up for some discussion and listening to other people's ideas on what they do.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's like a game and stuff. Someone might come up with a game. I know we have one member that she has like the big Connect 4 game and the
Yeah.
Jenga game. So she'll bring that in sometimes, and she'll set up questions about what would be the most nutritional thing to eat, this or this, and you make your choice. If you get it right, then you get to put something in the Connect 4 thing. It's just another way to
Uh-huh.
present the information
Yeah.
and stuff. So, and we have contests all the time in our chapter and stuff. Sometimes they're group contests or individual contests, and there's always a little prize, and there's different guidelines for the contest and stuff.
Fun.
So it's not. Sometimes it's based on who loses the most weight, but not always,
Mhm.
and everything, because some people who are at the beginning of their weight loss journey lose faster than others.
Right.
So if you base it on weight loss, and that's the only thing you base it on, then some people feel like they don't have a chance.
Yeah.
So we kind of base it on some other things too, to give people an equal chance
Okay.
and stuff. Because that's what contests are there for. They are there to motivate us. So-
Absolutely. And I thought that was really interesting. I like kind of like what you said about that you don't focus on a diet or whatever. It's, finding the whole point is to find out what works for you.
Right.
Because we're all different.
Right, exactly. So, and I know there are things along the way, like we have fall rallies every year, like in October. Ohio has this fall we're having 5.
Okay.
So, but we usually try to have one in each quadrant of Ohio. And so that's just a time where we get
Cool.
together and we celebrate everybody's summer successes and some recognition. And then there's state recognition days. We usually have that at the end of April. And that's just in one central location in Ohio. And that's a time where we recognize and we honor those people who have met their goals. So when you meet your goal, you become a COPS, which is Keep Off Pounds Sensibly. And so you can be, if you are in like my chapter, if we have someone who meets their goal, they are the queen for our chapter. Okay. But then when you can take all the queens from all the individual chapters, there's one that's going to have lost more weight than anybody else. So they are the TOPS state queen. And so they get recognized and they get all dressed up and stuff there at the state recognition days and wear the sash and the crown. And I mean, it's a big honor. And so we have like the king and the queen. And then we'll have people that earn their century award. So those are people who have lost 100 pounds and
Whoa.
and have kept it off for a year.
That's awesome.
So, and then you could get recognized for that. And we have people that get recognized for how many years they have remained a COPS. We have some people that have been a COPS member for 50 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they've never lost their status. So, and it's interesting when you have the new people that are newly that are new COPS members and have reached their goal, they get up on stage and tell their story.
Cool.
And then that provides you with some, motivation and some
Sure.
encouragement and stuff. So I know at last year's SRD, there was a lady that got up there and told her story, and she was talking about, well, I didn't like to exercise. So to encourage herself, she goes, every time I exercise, I'm going to put $1 in a can. She had a little Pringles can, a little short
Uh-huh.
can. So she put $1 in there every time she exercised. She's like, I figured I'm worth $1. So she put that in there. Well, the can got so full, she had to go to another container.
Yeah.
And she did that all through her weight loss journey until she reached her goal. And then she took that money and she used it to buy herself new clothes. So she had, I don't know.
So good.
I don't know how much money she had in there, but she had several $100s in there,
That's
and stuff.
wonderful.
So, I mean, I'm like, oh, I never thought of that. But I thought that was a really neat idea to do that. And it provides you incentive. And even
Sure.
if you want to put jars of marbles, have a jar full of marbles, and then for every time you lose a pound or half pound, move a marble over, just do that yourself. And then
Yeah.
you can kind of see the progress that you're making.
It's kind of like creating like within yourself, like a game or a,
Exactly.
fun kind of challenge.
Right. And you have to learn to look at food a little bit differently. I think that's what a lot of us struggle with.
Yeah.
I mean, because everybody likes to eat. You can't give up food forever. And I mean, I've been around some of my friends. We'll go out to eat and everything, and they're like, "Aren't you eating any of this?" I'm like, "No, I'm not going to eat that." Why not? Because I don't want to eat that. I have other stuff coming, and they're like, "Oh, I couldn't do what you do." I mean, so right there, I mean, they don't need to lose weight, but they're admitting how hard it is and stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that we have to do every day
Right.
and stuff. And I mean, we're not perfect, so we are going to mess up, but it's all about moderation and, just staying on the path as best you can. And if you make a mistake, give yourself some grace, because you're not human. You're going to mess up.
Yep.
And you just put that mistake behind you and you keep on going. Don't let that blow the rest of your day or the rest
Sure.
of your week and that type of thing. So, but being with your members in your chapter, it really helps. I know like after COVID, we all came in, and when we were opening back up, members were trickling in and getting back on the scale. Nobody wanted to do that.
No.
And so we had some members that were like,
No.
they were waiting, weeks to come back, and they would finally come back, and they said, well, I kind of waited to come back because I didn't want to mess up, all your numbers and stuff. I was like, no. I said, you're not any different than the rest of us.
Listen, the whole world messed up during that. I mean, it's okay.
That's all right. I said, we've all faced the scale. You're just facing it 4 weeks later.
Yeah.
I said, so just get on and,
Just pull the Band-Aid off,
yeah,
man.
and just deal with
rip it off.
Yeah, and just get back on track. I mean, there wasn't anything else to do.
Yeah.
So, and then you have people that they're doing great for a while, and then something will happen, and maybe they, have a health issue or something like that. And so their progress kind of slows down
Sure.
and stuff. So I know I was at a standstill for a while because of arthritis. That's not a good thing.
No.
And I was struggling when my feet were hurting. I was like, oh, I didn't even want to, go for a walk. My husband's like, you want to go for a walk? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And
Flipping
so
hurts,
yeah.
man. No.
So I'm past that now.
Okay.
So I am back, doing what I need to do and stuff. So I'm starting to make some progress again. So that's a
Good.
good feeling. So but some of us just, are different than other people. So, and we lose differently, and, different things work for you that might not work for somebody else.
Right.
So, but everybody has their struggles, and, you talk about pop, and people are like, oh, I can never give up pop. I can never give up pop. And, if that's an issue for you, then how are you going to deal with that? If you drink a whole lot of, pop, can you deal with that? Can you make that first little baby step and go up to that first step and say, okay, I'm going to limit it to, maybe just 2 cans a day, which you might think, oh, that's a lot. But if you're a person who drank 5 cans of pop a day,
Right.
that's a good step in the right direction. Yeah. And then you give yourself a week or 2 to adjust to that, and then maybe go up to the next step and knock it down to 1 can a day and stuff. And then, keep going, and maybe you decide, okay, now I'm going to knock it down to just, I'm going to drink some diet pop, which not everybody likes diet pop, but I mean, it's still better than drinking 5 cans of regular pop.
Right.
And then if you go through that, then maybe you can get rid of that altogether.
Yeah.
And stuff, because I went through that process. And
Oh,
so, I mean, I
And
wasn't.
you get addicted to
Yeah,
it. You've
yeah.
got caffeine and sugar that
Right,
you're addicted to.
right. So, I mean, I'm pretty much off pop. I maybe have 1 can like every 2 weeks
Yeah.
and stuff. But the rest of the time, it's pretty much like water or iced tea or something like that. So,
And
But-
they have like the seltzers now and stuff
Yeah.
that could be a fizzy alternative. It gives you the fizzy feel.
yeah. Yeah. That what is it? Buble or whatever
Yeah,
it is, or
all
something
those,
like that. Yeah.
different.
Have you tried
seltzers.
those?
Mhm.
Do you like them?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah. It's a good alternative to, like, if you're kind of like into that fizzy, like if you
Mhm.
want that fizzy kind of thing. But I can see where they're not as flavorful, obviously, as
Right.
soda. So,
Yeah.
but
And you can just, if the fizzy part isn't your thing, you can always just flavor your water with different things. I mean, just like lemon or,
right,
you know, put cucumbers in there and
yeah,
stuff like that.
it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really refreshing,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get some vitamins and stuff.
That's right.
See,
That's right. I mean, you can even flavor your tea. Like sometimes I'll put a big pot on the stove and put some green tea bags in there, and then I'll add some lemon peel, lemon juice, and ginger, and just let that simmer in there,
Yes.
and it makes a nice flavored tea.
orange and mint is really good.
Is it
too.
really?
Yes,
Okay.
super good.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, there are different options you have as far as, you know, something else, something to drink besides pop or sugar drinks.
Well, and think about this too. Like, if I mean, you were talking about the lady putting $1 in,
Mhm.
you know, or whatever, but think about how much money you would save if you drink water as an alternative.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
when you go out to dinner,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because a soda or a tea or something, which obviously tea is going to be better than soda for you, but can be, you know, $2.50. It could be, I
Yeah.
mean, you think about every time you go out or you drink something at home, that water is going to be not free, but way cheaper. So
Yep, it
you can
is.
save yourself money that way.
It's cheaper. Yep. And going out to eat is so hard to watch what you eat and stuff. Even if you try to get something that's kind of healthy, salt is usually the issue
Yeah,
and stuff. So, you know, you kind of have to work through that
sure.
and stuff. So, you know, I personally don't go out to eat very much anymore because of that, because it's a struggle.
Yeah.
So I
It
just
shouldn't be hard, to find something
Right.
to eat, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Shouldn't be
So,
work.
but it can be, you know. So you just kind of have to go out there and you plan ahead. So, you know, if you know you're going to go to a party or something, you plan ahead for that. So you watch the rest of the day, or maybe, you know, days before that, watch what you eat so you have some extra, you know, calories or whatever.
Sure.
And then you allow for that. And then you work on portion control. So
Yeah.
I know I do that sometimes. Like if there's something that I am craving and stuff, or like I went through 2 weeks where I was like craving like barbecued ribs. I'm like, oh, I just tried to ignore it. So finally I went out and I bought some and I made them, but it was portion control and stuff that I used. I mean, I weighed it out. So I know
Good
how
for
much
you.
I was eating, what I was eating. And then on mine, I used some of that sugar-free barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really
That-
good.
Yeah. So that helped me, and that satisfied my craving, and I was happy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes you have to look at it that way too, to get around that stuff, because we all crave certain things. We all have weaknesses, and you know,
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Salty, crunchy snacks, you know, things like that, whatever, or whether it's chocolate or something. So you have to find a way that you can deal with that, because it's part of life. That stuff's not going to go away.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you know, I cut sugar, well, not all sugar, but a lot of sugar out of my diet a while back, and it was hard. I mean, it's a physical addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And if you start like I would have sugar in my coffee in the morning, and then I would eat like a breakfast bar, and I started like paying attention, and I was like, my God, the amount of sugar I consumed before I even left the house in the morning was uncanny.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's like, okay, so you can do like the zero sodas, like the, you know, Coke Zero or something
Mhm.
like that instead of like regular Coke, if you want to have a soda, but mostly drink water and stuff now. But like you have that physical like withdrawal.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is very hard.
I mean, you feel like crap.
yeah. Yeah.
And you're grumpy and all of that stuff. It's rough.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I don't have skinny DNA. So some people are blessed with high metabolism and stuff. And I'm not blessed with that. So, I have to watch. They're lucky they don't have to watch that. So, and some people, are just tend to be a little heavier their whole life. And other people don't get heavier until they're later after they get married. Maybe they have kids.
Yeah.
So it's different for everybody.
Sure.
And some people, in their teens and their 20s, they're not worried about that. They're too busy running around having fun and stuff. And even if they are a little heavier, they don't think about that.
Yeah.
And stuff. But for me, it was when I hit 30 and stuff. And then I was like, I went to the doctor and it's like, oh yeah, your thyroid's out of whack and your blood pressure's starting to go up. And I was like, 30 was not a good time.
Yeah.
So that's when it all started to hit for me. And I mean, it wasn't anything major, but it was just a little bit of an eye opener.
Like a wake up call.
Yeah. Like, okay, maybe it's time I start paying attention a little bit.
Sure.
And everybody has their reason as to why they want to start watching and getting a little bit healthier and stuff. And whether it's to lose weight or just get more physically fit, or maybe for some older people could be like, I really need to improve my balance.
Or strength.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody has a reason, and you have to kind of remember what that reason is. And I think sometimes we start off on our journey, we have that reason, and then we don't focus on that reason. And so then as time goes on, we tend to forget what that reason is.
That makes total sense.
And stuff. So then you've got to go back and revisit that and focus on that goal and stuff, and kind of think about it every morning before you start your day. Have that mindful thought. Okay, this is my goal for today. Kind of put you in the right mindset, because I mean, your health is the most important thing you have. It should be important to you. So if it's really important to you, then you need to make some steps to improve that, and stuff. So like baby steps all the way. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to happen with baby steps.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
So
right.
I know, and I am the leader of my chapter, but I'm also an advocate. So an advocate is someone who I have chapters under me, and I go around and I visit those chapters, and there's 12 of us throughout the state of Ohio.
Okay.
And so I go around and we have to present a program every year. And then we do other things for our chapters if they ask us to help. Like if they have someone who just earned their COP status and reached their goal, and they might be having a little program for them, we can come and help with the program. Or if they're going to introduce new officers, maybe they'll ask us to come and do that. So there are other things that we can do. But in our program, there's a quote, and I don't remember it exactly, but it's from Steve Jobs, and it says it's not about motivation, but if you have a goal, okay, if that goal is important to you, that goal itself should be enough to pull you to the end of your journey, the end of that goal.
Sure.
And stuff. So I never really heard it put like that. The goal itself, if it's really important to you, should be enough just to pull you along.
Yeah.
So, that's just something to think about. But we go out and we present those programs to our chapters. We will have like chapter walks in our area and stuff. We'll set that up, anywhere in your area, really.
Great.
We could have a workshop once a year. We set up a workshop. It could be on anything. It could be on self-care, exercise. It's whatever the advocate chooses to do that on. So, there are some things out there to do. It's just in our area, we're kind of spread out. My area is spread out pretty well. My counties that I cover are Jackson, Vinton, Meigs, Morgan, Washington, and Lawrence County. So,
you're definitely spread out.
I am spread out.
Yeah.
And if there's a chapter that was established like in Athens, then I would cover that area as well. But there isn't a chapter in Athens.
Oh, that's surprising.
So, yeah, there used to be, but it, I guess, went by the wayside before I got started.
Okay.
So, but but we're there for our members. That's what we're there for. And so we are the ones that plan our state recognition days once a year. We're the ones that plan the fall rally, that's what we're getting ready to do now,
Okay.
and stuff. So
Is this a national organization?
it's all
Okay.
across the United States and Canada.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And they offer retreats. So retreat, you can do a virtual retreat, which usually lasts over like 3 days, and they'll have like 2 sessions a day. You can
Okay.
go to that. Or you can go to an in-person retreat, and those last anywhere from 5 to 6 days, and they might be in Texas or Maryland
Well, that's
or
fun.
whatever. Yeah, it is
Get to
fun.
travel.
Yeah. So, and they have different retreat directors. There's 3 of them, and they'll, do that retreat. You eat the food that's provided there, follows the food exchange system, and everybody eats about 1,500 calories a day. So you don't have to think about your food while you're
Gotcha.
there.
That's
So
good.
yeah, so you're on plan while you're there, and you're learning more about nutrition and exercise, and self-care, motivation, positive thinking, whatever the retreat director decides to throw in there. So, but it's all beneficial information and everything. So I have never
Love
been
that.
to an in-person retreat just because the time doesn't work out for me.
Sure.
I mean, I teach school, so they never
Aha.
seem to have one like during my summer break when I could go. So maybe sometime, but but I have been to a virtual one
Mhm.
and stuff. So you get the same information. It's just presented in a different format.
Very fun.
Yeah. So I got to meet a lot of people. I mean, online, but lots of people from all over the place.
And isn't that like cool because you get to, you're sharing that common goal, but you're
Mhm.
meeting all kind of people from all different walks of life
Yes.
and all of that, knowing that is your what you have in common
Mhm.
there.
And you get to meet people who have lost 100 pounds and maybe kept it all off. Some who have struggled and haven't kept it off, so now they're working back to that.
Yep.
And stuff. You get to meet people who have met their goal and talk to them and see what they do. I mean, we have people that have been COPS members for 40 years or more. And
That is
met that
awesome.
goal and everything. So you can talk to those people and give them tips and tricks.
But like TOPS again keeps them accountable, holds them
Yes.
accountable. Like it's like something that keeps them. It's their goal that they're working toward is keeping that off.
Right. Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we have some people that if they have met their goal or they're close to their goal, they're like, I still come to meetings because that still helps me keep on track so I don't
Yeah.
regain all the weight that I've lost.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, it can help you keep on track whether you choose to weigh in every week or not. It still helps you keep on track. You're there, to get support from your fellow members
Sure.
and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're not there to judge because we've all been there and stuff. So nobody's going to look at you any differently. We're all just there to help each other and, give everybody any kind of support we can.
Love that.
So,
how does somebody join?
okay, you can go to the TOPS website. It's topsclub.org, and I think you can type in your zip code and it'll bring up where there's a meeting. But if you want to join and you know where a meeting's being held, you can just show up. Your first meeting's free.
Okay.
So go and check it out. And then if you join, you just say, hey, I'm interested in joining, and they'll give you the paperwork and you can fill it out. And there's 3 levels to join, starting at $49.
Okay.
And then it moves up and stuff depending on the things that you get when you purchase whatever level 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
You get different things. Whether you get a book of information, it's like the real life guide for weight loss. And stuff. We call it the Blue Book. So it's a big,
Blue Book.
yeah, we call it. It's a big, thick book, and it has a lot of information about the food exchange system. It has information in there about nutrition. There's a little formula in there that you can use to help you figure out how many calories you should be eating a day. There's lots of information in there, and so you decide what level you want to join at.
Okay.
And fill out the paperwork, and then when you renew the following year, it's only $37.
Gotcha.
So it goes back down, and then you only pay $37 a year from there on out and stuff. And you get a bi-monthly magazine called TOPS News, which is full of information.
That's great.
Yep. It has articles in there about members and the things that they have done to be successful. There's information, in there about recipes, contests, things like that.
Oh.
It's all in there that you can use for your chapter. And what else do you get? You get like a little weight loss book so you can record your weight
Mhm.
loss and kind of keep track. Food journaling is a big thing. Some people like to do it, some people don't. You can get sheets that, you can write down everything you eat. If you don't want to do that, then you can just put it on your phone.
Okay.
A lot of people do that,
Yeah.
like use the MyFitnessPal, whatever. You could just put that on your phone and go that route if that's your choice. And so some people use the food cards where it has a little card that says bread or fats or meat or whatever,
Mhm.
and you pull out the ones that are for your calorie count, 1,500 or 1,300, whatever you're using. And then so if you have a piece of bread, you take out the bread and you move it over here and stuff. I've used this before, and they work for me when I'm home during the summer.
Yeah, but if
Okay.
you're moving around
Yeah.
out on the go, no
yeah,
way.
no. Once I go to work, then I go back to put it. I do it in my phone
Okay.
and stuff because I'm not going to carry this thing with me to work and lug it back and forth.
Just
and
one
stuff.
more thing to lose
Yeah,
or
I know,
forget,
exactly.
right?
But when I'm at home, it's different. Some people even, if they're really strict and watching at the beginning, they'll have like a table where they lay all their cards out
Okay.
and stuff, and then they'll move them over here so they can visually see the progress along the way.
Love
So
that.
yeah, so but you just have to learn some tips and tricks on how to satisfy your cravings, I guess, and stuff to get the biggest bang for your buck, so to speak.
Sure.
When
And that's where you guys come in.
yeah,
The
And-
group.
yes, sharing your tips and tricks for what you do, what works for you, and stuff and everything. So everybody has different eating patterns and stuff, and I mean, I even eat differently during the summer based than I do when school starts.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
yeah, because I'm not a morning person. So when school hits, I'm not getting up and making myself breakfast,
Mhm.
cooking breakfast, because I don't have time to do that.
Yeah. Like,
No. So, that doesn't happen. So, but during the summer, I can get up and then I can, eat breakfast whenever I want to. So it's different.
Sure.
Yeah. So you just kind of have to do what works for you.
I could see that. And again, this is what the group is for. You can discuss with others like what they're doing and
Right.
the tips and tricks and
Right.
all that stuff. And
Mhm.
I think that's fantastic. And knowing that you're not alone out there.
Right. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Knowing you're not alone and you've got friends there that know what you're going through and, can offer some support. And, if you go in there with a big loss, everybody's cheering for you. And if you go in there with a gain, everybody's, still encouraging you and you're like, you'll get back on track, and stuff. And what do you think you did wrong? If someone came in there with a really good loss, then you can share like, what'd you do this week?
Yeah. How'd you do it?
Yeah, exactly right.
What's your
What did
secret?
you do this week that you thought worked for you? And share that
Uh-huh.
and stuff. So that's very helpful. And I know we had a member who she was really close to reaching her goal, and she was just coming in and she was losing a little bit at a time. And then all of a sudden, boom, there she was. We're like, what'd you do? She goes, I don't know. I just really, really started watching like everything that I ate
Yeah.
and stuff. And so she got to her goal. And so some people, when they get to their goal, we can turn in that stuff to the state like right away
Mhm.
and stuff, or you can choose to wait, because when you are a COPS and say your goal is 150 pounds, okay, there are rules, okay, for you to keep that status.
Okay.
And so you can only go 7 pounds below that or 3 pounds above that.
Okay.
So if your goal is 150 and you get to 153, you're fine.
Okay.
If you get to 154, then you have 2 weeks to get back down to
Uh-oh.
153 or below, or you lose your status.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, and then it's 7 pounds below, and if you get more than 7 pounds below your goal, and you could lose your status. And it's not that they're discouraging you if you feel like you can lose more, but they don't want you to lose so much that you get too thin.
Yeah.
For some people. So if you are at 150 and you feel like, oh, I'm still losing, and that's fine. You can always go and rechange your goal. All it takes
Okay.
is, a visit to the doctor, get a doctor's slip and turn it in.
Yeah, because they don't want it to become like a disorder or something
Right.
of that
Yep.
of that nature. We
Yeah.
want to make sure everybody's doing this in a safe, healthy manner.
Right.
That's the whole goal.
Yeah. So you can change your goal anytime you want to and stuff. So it's up to you. And that's happened before in the past. Like, we have people who are older and maybe they've been a cops, and then as they get older, they realize it's a little bit harder. Okay. And stuff. And so they're having a harder time keeping that off. So they might go see their doctor and maybe they'll raise their goal by 5 pounds.
Okay.
Not by 50 or anything like that, but
Right.
just a couple pounds
Not something
and stuff, so they
extreme.
so they can still keep their cop status
Love
and
that.
stuff. So you do have that option and stuff. And sometimes your goal, you don't have to set a goal when you first join. Like
Okay.
I haven't set a goal. I haven't set one. You can choose to set one right away as soon as you join, or you can choose to set one later. Like if you think you're getting closer to your goal, then you can go ahead and decide to set one then.
Do you think it's because you kind of just want to see how it goes first before you set a goal? I mean, I think that's
It
because
could be.
you don't know what your goal is, I think, starting out.
Yeah. I mean, I have an idea in my head what I think I want my goal to be, but it's so far down the road that I haven't set that goal. I guess I feel like
Okay.
I don't want to set that in stone because I think that could be maybe a little defeating to me.
Sure.
So when I get a little closer, then I'll set that goal.
Okay.
When I see the light at the end of the tunnel, type thing. So yeah,
get
maybe
it.
I'll do it then. So but you have that choice. So but I mean, it is good to have other people there that are going through the same thing that you are.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and we have people in our chapter that are close to their goal, some that have met their goal. We have one gentleman in our chapter who has been a COPS member for years.
Mhm.
So, and then we have a new COPS member and stuff. She hasn't been a COPS for too long. So, like at our state recognition days in April, Thursday night, we went in there and they had a dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so our COPS member, she had always been at her goal or below. Okay, well, that week she just happened to be 1 pound above her goal. She's like, oh, I can't have this. So when we went to our state recognition days, like I said, they had the dance floor. She would not let us get off the dance floor. We were not allowed. So for 3 hours, we all danced. I'm not saying we danced well, but we danced.
But by golly, we danced.
I know, and stuff. The only time we were allowed to get off the dance floor is when we needed to use the restroom or get a drink of water. And the rest of the time we had to be back on there dancing and stuff. We were so sore.
Yeah, I'll
So
bet.
sore.
But that also goes to show you how dancing is so good for you,
Yes.
right? Like-
Yes, it was a lot of fun and stuff. And then the next day, being an advocate, I had to get up and do other things. Okay.
I'm
And-
sore.
and I had to present a workshop. We had 3 breakout sessions, and in that workshop, what were we doing? We were doing chair exercises, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can get through this or not. And I had to do it 3 times, and I
Oh,
was so sore
no.
from 3 hours of dancing. But I mean, it was fun. I made it through, toughed it out, and stuff. So, it's fun when you're doing it with other people.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and you just have to find the exercise that works for you.
Yeah.
So, like I used to do Zumba a lot.
That was one of my most favorite things to
Mhm.
do. And then I got out of it, of course. But
Yeah.
I loved Zumba.
Yeah, I used to go a lot
It's not
before.
like a workout.
No, it's too fun.
Yeah.
And-
It's
yeah.
a blast.
Yeah. And I used to do it all the time, 3 times a week. And then COVID hit, and that messed everything up and stuff. So I have not been back. I think I'm to the point now where I could go back
Mhm.
and stuff. I mean, I would be hurting when I first started, just saying, and stuff. And I would be like out of breath and stuff because I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
I mean, they used to have like the little fundraisers for Zumba. And they would do 2-hour sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be able to do that, no problem.
Yep.
I couldn't do that now.
Yeah.
I'd be lucky if I made it through for an hour.
Yeah.
So, but it's just, you got to start somewhere. So,
That's right.
us, do that. I know the Y used to have some line dancing classes.
Mhm.
And so I did that for a while. I don't think they have that anymore. I think everybody's just gone and they do it at the Wagon Wheelers Club now. I think that's my
Okay.
understanding. So, but there's that option. I mean, there's lots of stuff out there on TV, on YouTube,
Oh
all
my gosh,
kinds of
and
stuff.
a lot of it's free.
Yeah, yeah. And they have chair exercises, or they've got those exercise bands, all kinds of stuff that you can use and look up.
Pick up water bottles. If you're sitting at home at night, do some soup cans.
Yeah.
Do something. Just do something.
Yes. Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff on there that you can access
Yep.
and make use of and stuff. I know they used to have silver sneakers at the
Yeah.
Y.
They still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had some friends that went there. So during the summer, I went and stuff. And some of them were giving me a little bit of a hard time. They're like, "Why are you here? You're like the youngest one here." I'm like, "So?" And
Right.
stuff. But
I'm here.
I know, but I mean, the first couple times, I mean, I was sore. I mean, you're
Yeah.
just doing weights and bands, and you're in the chair stretching, and you twist and turn a certain way, and I next day be like, "Oh, I'm kind of sore."
Yeah.
And stuff. So, and it was always like that every summer. The first 1 or 2 times I would be sore because you're using new muscles.
Sure.
So, I mean, you go that route and everything, because some people have the discipline to do the exercise at home, and that's great. But things like when you do group exercise like Zumba, it's more fun. I mean, I'll
Sure
just
it
think
is.
it is more fun. And we always had a good time at Zumba. We always knew somebody was going to mess up and go the wrong way at the wrong time and stuff, So I said, well, I never knocked anybody over yet, so we're doing okay. But, so it's fun. It's fun.
It is
So,
fun.
Yeah,
You're
the music's
right.
going, and before you know it, the time is up.
Mhm.
So that's the best thing about that I liked. So I kind of need to get back to that and stuff. Helps you with your progress. Yeah.
It doesn't. It's like, again, ripping that Band-Aid off. Just going to that first class, and once you get going, then it's like, cool.
Yeah.
I can do this again.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, I'll start next week.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Just pick a day and go.
Yeah. And you really have to fit it in your schedule and be committed to going,
Mhm.
and stuff. So I think a lot of us everybody's so busy doing this, that, or the other thing and stuff. You go to work and you're tired,
Mhm.
and stuff. Because I know even going to Zumba, I might come home from work and then you go to Zumba and you got to come home and you're tired, you got to get a shower. Well, supper has to happen somewhere
Right.
in there.
Right.
So you kind of have to plan ahead a little bit.
Yep.
How are you going to do that? Because at my house, I'm the only one who really cooks. So if I don't make supper, my guys will just sit around and wait for something to happen, So you have to plan and work that into your life.
Yes.
And you have to plan, your meals. Like when I start going back to school, I am going to have to sit and think about what am I going to pack for lunch? Because I hate packing my lunch every day.
Yeah.
And so I will plan something for lunch, and I usually take it, sometimes all week. I'll take the same thing. I just plan it, and if I can pack it up ahead of time in
That's awesome.
if I can pack it up in 5 different containers, then I will. And I'll take it all on Monday in my lunchbox. So on Monday, my lunchbox might be really, really heavy. But then I just put it all in the refrigerator so I don't have to worry about it the rest of the week. It's in there. And
if you have good coworkers, they don't eat it, right?
that's right. They don't eat it and stuff. So I know like at my office, we used to have different people in our office, and they used to bring donuts in every so often. And they always sat by my desk, and I'd be like, ugh. And I'd have to walk past, every time I walked past my desk, I'd be walking past the donuts. Or when they got birthday or cupcakes for the monthly birthday, they would always be sitting right next to my desk. And I have to walk through that all the time and stuff. So I'm like, oh, cupcakes I can pass up just fine. Donuts, that was another story.
Yeah.
So, you just kind of, and they smell, you can smell them.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so you kind of have
They're
to
the devil.
so you kind of have to tell yourself, okay, how am I going to deal with this?
Yeah.
Type thing. Because I mean, I know I'm not going to be perfect, and there's going to come a time when I'm probably going to eat a donut.
Yep.
So I set up a thing for myself, and I said, okay, if I have one favorite donut that I like, if it's there, I'm going to eat one. If it's not, I won't. But I'm telling you what, and they were everybody's favorite donuts. So a lot of times I'd open up a box, nope, Nope. And so I wouldn't eat a donut.
Cool.
So, and every once in a while I'll be like, oh, look, there's one, and so, but that didn't happen often because it was like those cream sticks and
Yes.
everybody loves those.
Yes.
So, they would get in there first and a lot of times there wouldn't be any left. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. That was a deal I made with myself and I
That's
stuck
right.
with it.
It wasn't meant to be.
That's right. And I mean, because I'm just like, I just know. I know me. I'm like, I'm not going to be perfect. And I'm not going to pass up those donuts every time and never eat one and watch everybody else eat them because they'll sit in the office sometimes and eat one.
Sure.
And my coworkers are sitting in the office eating one, and stuff. So it's hard. So, like I said, you're not going to be perfect. And if you do mess up, you got to give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
But you have to learn how to deal with things because it's life. Going
Yeah.
out to eat. How are you going to deal with that?
That's right. And sometimes life isn't fair and it's hard.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah. So,
Very good.
So, but because we think, oh, it's hard. Just people are like, oh, just give it up. You just don't eat that. Well, can you give that up all the time?
Right.
I mean,
easier said than done.
it's right. That's right. So you kind of have to look at it like that. I mean, if you're an alcoholic, you just give it up and you're done, and stuff, and you stay on track. But I mean, if food is your issue, you can't give up food.
Yeah.
We all need food to survive. So you just, you have to make some choices.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's right. So let's talk about ages.
Okay.
Are there age limits to your group, or because there's a lot of kids out there that are struggling.
No, we can have kids join and stuff. They
Okay.
like at the beginning of every year when you weigh in, it's based on your weight for the beginning of the year, and you're put into a division. Okay.
Okay.
So there's even a division for people who have weight loss surgery. There's a division for them. We have a teen division and stuff. Preteens, they can come in. Matter of fact, one of the community events out there at Manpower Park, we set up a table.
Mhm.
And excuse me, we set up a table for our Tops stuff, and we had a man come over and talk to us. He goes, Tops, I know Tops. I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah. He was recognized at the West Virginia State Recognition Days for a teen and stuff that he
Awesome.
won. He met his goal, and I'm like, really? I wish I would have got his name. But we were
Yeah.
just talking, and I was like amazed. And so I get on the Tops Facebook page, and I put that out there. And the lady who used to be the president of Tops, and so she goes, I remember him.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
fun.
So I mean, that was kind of neat. And he
Yeah.
remembered Tops and
So
came
it
over.
helped him along
Yeah.
the way.
hmm So yeah, we'll take kids out. Yep. Teens, anybody. There's really, not that big of an age limit. and
That's
stuff.
wonderful.
So,
Men,
yeah.
women, doesn't matter, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So we'll take anybody and stuff. And I think I asked him, I said, well, how was it to be a member of Tops, because it's, a lot of ladies. He goes, I love those ladies. He said, they cheered me on no matter what I did,
Aw,
and
that's
stuff.
so
And I mean,
good.
and that's what it's about. So he, he did well and that worked for him and stuff.
Love
so
that.
yeah. And a lot of people wish they would have had some of that guidance, as they were
Mhm.
younger before things kind of got out of control, for them.
Well, because you mentioned it earlier, and growing up, I mean, I would eat so much because I was so thin that it was like embarrassing. And I can remember my mom saying, "One of these days, you're going to be sorry, that,
Yeah.
whatever." And I'm like, "But I never had to work out. I didn't have to. It was easy, And
Mhm.
you're so far the other way that people are like making fun of you for being so skinny. And
Right.
so it's hard. Sometimes it's like people don't have to study, and then they get to college and they're like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
So it's hard, like when you don't have to do something, to learn how to do it later on in life. So that's where you guys come in too, with tips and tricks with working out and, then eating and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Yeah.
Love that.
So, and you have to realize you're not perfect. I've seen members that when they first join, they're doing so great and they're losing every week, a little bit every week. And it comes about that 6th week
Uh-huh.
and they gain and they just don't understand why. And I mean, I've had some of them that have been like in tears. I'm like, you're not going to lose every week. It does
That's right.
not work that way.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It's exactly right. It's a long journey to get to the end.
Yes.
And stuff, and you're gonna mess up. And a lot of it has to do, like when you weigh in, I mean, maybe you've done really well, but maybe you just ate lunch a little later that day. So that
Sure.
can affect you, and how much water you drank, And now I encourage my members to, the day of weigh-in, don't starve yourself. They, eat breakfast, eat lunch
Mhm.
and stuff, and then come in and weigh in. And so that's the way to do it. And everything. We have a program called Are You Starving Yourself at the Scale? And it has to do with on the day of weigh-in, are you not going to eat and you're going to hope for the best because maybe you didn't have the best week?
Yeah.
No, we don't want you to do that.
No.
No.
That's cheating.
Yeah. So, and it usually doesn't work,
Yeah.
and stuff. So, but you have to think about that stuff. Drink your water and lots of stuff.
All
So,
of that.
yeah.
Yep.
hmm
Well, awesome. Well, we're out of time this morning, but thank you for coming in. Once
You're
again,
welcome.
can you tell our viewers how to get a hold of you or how they can join Tops?
Yeah, if you go on the topsclub.org website, there's a 800 number to call headquarters,
Mhm.
and you can talk to them directly and tell them where you live, and they'll tell you where to find a chapter. There's al-
Topsclub.org.
Yes,
there, Dylan.
topsclub.org. And you can also go to the website and it says find a meeting and you can click on there. And I think you just type in your zip code and it brings up a meeting. And again, if you know where there's a chapter that's meeting, you can just show up.
Yeah. So
So-
every Tuesday at what time you guys
Every
meet?
Tuesday at 5 o'clock at the Senior Center on Mound Street. Yeah, that's
Just
where
show
we meet.
up.
Yeah, and then there's another one in Jackson that meets on Friday mornings at 10. I think it's at the Promised Land Church out there by the Child Development Center.
Okay.
It's that church
Yep.
out there. Yeah, they meet out there Fridays at 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a couple of opportunities.
Yeah, there's one in Vinton County too. I just don't remember what day they meet off the top of my head. But
Okay.
again, call the 800 number or get on the website and click find a meeting. There's lots of options.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning.
Thanks for
We've
having
learned
me.
tons.
Yeah,
So,
I had
of
a
course.
good time.
Yep. Come back and see us sometime.
Okay, I will.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Well, we are headed out to the fair. So, I guess thank you for watching this morning. And the three of us will let you know how we fared, pun intended, tomorrow. That was a good one. That was so punny. Almost like vest.
Hashtag best life.
Vest life. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.